we've talked a lot about injuries tonight. The whole going down in the middle of the game thing has dragged on for a few more days. It's one thing if fans say it. It might be another thing to hear it from someone in the same position as you. Kirk Ferentz has been, I would say, kind of pointed and somewhat accusatory of all of that. How does that make you feel? What do you think about that, and how do you address it?
Okay. I hope that was loud enough that everybody heard the question, because I'm going to answer the question. I kind of wrote some things down because I thought this was coming. First of all, I would ask anybody that's listening to take your Penn State hat off or take your Iowa hat off. And I'm just going to talk in what I believe and what I think from a strategy standpoint, from a common sense perspective, from what's good for football, in my opinion, college football. So how does this strategy make sense against a huddle team? People use this strategy to slow people down. Spread offenses, tempo offenses, they huddle. So that strategy did not make sense in this situation. In our 6 years of playing them, 6 years straight, 4-2 with our record, has that ever shown up? Has anybody seen that? In my 8 years as a head coach, has that showed up at Penn State? In my 12 years as a head coach, has that showed up? Has not showed up. Plus our defense is playing lights out. Our defense is playing great. Our defense is playing lights out. We turned the ball over to start the game inside the 5-yard line, held them to a field goal. So again, go back and check it. And again, I'm not talking. I got tremendous respect for the University of Iowa. I got tremendous respect for their fans. It was a hell of a game in a tough environment. I'm not making excuses. I'm just stating how I see the facts. Take your fan hats off. I want the Penn State fans to take their hats off. Now let's talk about injuries. Okay, now hold on a second. Before that, now put yourself in the shoes of a parent. Your son is down on the field for an injury, and the stadium is booing them. We didn't just boo that, we booed balls falling off tees by the wind. I don't know who we were booing for that. We weren't gaining an advantage of that. But your son's down on the field with an injury, and I just told you PJ Mustipher is done for the year, and we're booing. Is that good for college football? Is that good for college football? Now, again, from a strategy standpoint, would it be strategic for us to tell PJ Mustipher to go down and fake an injury? One of our best players, one of our starters, one of our captains. Does that make sense? If you're going to do it, you wouldn't do it with your starter, your captain. All right, let's talk about his backup, Devon Elise, who also got booed. So would it make sense for the backup D tackle, we've already lost our starter, to send him out of the game for a play? I don't think so. AK, maybe our best defensive player, and his probably looked the worst. He went down. Maybe it's because he plays so hard he was cramping. But am I going to tell AK to go down and not play a play on defense? Does that make any sense? Brisker, he went down twice against Wisconsin. They didn't boo him. Sean Clifford, did we want him to go down and not return in the game? Devin Ford, our starting tailback in the game, went down and did not return in the game. Did we want that to happen? Lovett went down, did not return in the game. Sutherland, our captain, went down and did not return in the game. So it was a physical game. Was there a bunch of injuries? I get it. And how it may have looked, I get it. I'm telling you, we don't coach it. We don't teach it. And may it look that way because there was a bunch of injuries in the game? I get it. There's a bunch of injuries in the game. But 70% of those guys never returned. So all I'm saying is I don't think this is right for college football. If a player goes down and it's my son and the stadium's booing him, it's no different than a player go down in practice. One of the things I tell the coaches all the time, a player goes down in practice, what do coaches used to say for 100 years? Get up, you're fine. Well, what if he's not? So I wasn't attacking the University of Iowa. I'm trying to protect college football. And I don't think that's the right thing for our game. So I know that was a long answer, but I got people coming into me all day, showing me things and things like that. And I got tremendous respect for their program, for their head coach, who's been doing it a long time. But I felt like after the game I had to say something, because when I got my starting D tackle, PJ Mustipher, down on the field and he can't play for the rest of the season, he's my captain, and they're booing him, I don't think anybody would feel good about that. And we had a number of guys go out of the game and never came back. So that was a long answer.
2 more questions.
2?